Hello and welcome to Cheshire Audio. Now, exciting times, more exciting times. If you're watching the review I did of the retro review I did of the NR Cambridge A60, towards the end of that I said that because the A60 was a very popular amplifier through the end of the 70s, early 80s, that its sort of reign of power was ended by a certain usurper from Salisbury. Getting very poetic in these videos. Well, the usurper from Salisbury, 1984, I think, came into, it would have been, produced about, first versions of it were now about 1984, because I bought one instead of an A60, so there you go. So today's review is going to be about the Naim Nait 1, of which I have an example over here. There you go. So let's set the camera up and let's talk about the Naim Nait 1. Yeah, so like I say, introduced in about 1984. This isn't a very original one. The very original one had a smooth plastic volume control. This one's the textured one that they introduced on the, I think it was 32.5 preamp. Had this when it came out. So they sort of did a little facelift. So it's got the grooves on the outside and the texture finish. Still the sort of slightly overhanging centre line to mark the volume control position, which is sort of aped on the logo. If you can see that, the logo looks like a volume control. I mean, one of the few amplifiers you could probably, if you just have volume control, you can recognise what make it is. There's not many that you could say that with electronics, really. Very sort of distinctive design, and they for some reason dropped it later on. I think when they went to the olive front names, they dropped that idea, and I always thought that was a shame, because it was a sort of a character, a bit of character and a bit of identifying his name, really. Features wise, balance control, really odd balance control. It sort of attenuates one of the channels slightly as you turn it. There's no left and then right. It's sort of, you move it around and it sort of, like I say, attenuates one of the channels, and the centre image moves around as you play with this, and you just have to find the position where it sounds right. You quite often right across to the right would be the right position. Very strange thing, but it was, I think, designed not to interfere with the amplifier at all. It was sort of trying to be as out of circuit as possible. I don't know how that will be, but not conventional balance control, some mad name sort of version of, really. Got 3 inputs, got phono tuner and tape input. No tape monitor, I don't think, with this thing. It's just tape and your off switch. One thing I really liked about Naim stuff, and I don't, it's me being a bit strange, I suppose, but there's no mute circuit, no sort of protection on these at all. Saying that, they're very rarely, well, it's almost unheard of for them to go faulty. But yeah, no mute or anything like that. So when you switch them on, you get a switch on thump, and then after a while you get another switch on thump as everything stabilises. And it used to freak people out, because this was being sold into the sort of more mainstream areas. People weren't used to that, because they're used to things having a mute circuit and just switching on and coming on after a while or whatever. But this, I don't know if you're able to hear it, but you get an initial thump, and then after a second or two you get a second thump and it's ready to go. But it's, and a thump when you switch off. If you can, hopefully you can hear that. But I always found that quite comforting somehow. I quite liked it. But like I say, all the Naim stuff did it. But it was quite nice, really. Sound quality wise, I think the thing about this is going to be this Cheshire Audio cliche. Engagement. Very engaging, possibly the most engaging amplifier ever made, more so even than the bigger Naim stuff, more so even than the later versions of this. I think even the Nait 2 didn't quite have that musical sort of insight that this has, where you can put something on and you just understand why the musician that's playing is paid as much money as he is. You just understand the music better. It sounds awfully pretentious, but it is a thing. Musicality is a fundamental part of hi-fi, the hi-fi thing, really. It's not about bass and treble and how loud it goes and all this sort of thing. It's about engaging with the musician, and these are brilliant at it. You put things on music on that you wouldn't normally perhaps have liked, but you'll understand the talent by with using an amplifier like this. It was really, really good at it. I mean, I think modern day amps that are good at things like that are probably more likely Regan now and Sugden and these sort of companies. Naim seem to have lost that somehow. They've lost that magic. I mean, if just looking at the later versions of the Nait, the 2 wasn't quite as good, but sort of similar. The 3 was quite a big downgrade from the original. More power, more adaptability. You could use it as a preamp. You could add a power supply to it, and then a separate power amp and biamp. And there's all sorts of options with it. But the bare bones Nait 3 was never as good as this. Drove well, but it was never as good as this. And then the 5 slightly better than the 3. And all the previous versions, like even the Super Nait and things like that, I don't think they have anything like the engagement this does. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there still using them. The values have gone stupid. I mean, partly because if you buy one that's been refurbed by Naim, then the refurbishment cost is £350 plus. That was going back a bit actually, but yeah, so it's £350–400 to have one refurbished. But it is kind of worth it because they're one of those amps that really, really still stand up. So anyway, let's have a look at the back panel, see what's going on there, and I'll just turn the camera around. Yeah, back panel. A little bit like the A60 that we looked at the other day, really. DIN sockets. Got 2 phonos for the record player and a back little earth post there, and then your DIN sockets there. Naim stuck with DIN, and they've still used DIN on a lot of their equipment now, because of its sort of superior earthing arrangement, really. Because all their stuff is star earthed internally, and it's a single earth for the input. So that kind of follows their philosophy, really. And then you've got the speaker inputs there, which are sort of 4mm only. There's no binding post or anything like that, just 4mm, which can cause issues if you've got in the spades or bare wire or whatever else. You have to get yourself some little 4mm plugs, but it's no great problem really, because you can buy like a screw-on 4mm. So yeah, that's the back panel. Not an awful lot going on there really. There's no preamp outs or anything like that. It's just pure integrated amp. So let's turn that around again. So that's the Naim Nait 1, a giant killer from the 1980s. Love to have one again, to be honest, but like I say, the prices are going a bit mad now. And unfortunately, this one isn't being traded in. He thought he had a fault with it, and it turned out it wasn't a fault. So that's going back to it, unfortunately. So yeah, turn the camera around. Yeah, I hope you like that one. A bit of a quick video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe. Subscribers are sort of heading rapidly towards a couple of thousand now, so perhaps I'll do another competition when we hit 2,000. I don't know. I might see what we can think of something to do, something to give away. We'll see. Yeah, I hope you like that. I'll be doing another retro video soon. Probably not the next one, but I've got something else that's come up that I can do. So yeah, like I said, I quite like these retro reviews. I mean, don't forget, I still sell new equipment. The shop sells new equipment. I don't sell sort of classic stuff. I just see it in the shop occasionally and think, oh yeah, I remember them, and do a little video on them. So yeah, I'll see you in a future video. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.